This week on Amazingly Terrible, we're watching Jack and the Beanstalk, the 1974 anime movie.
Oppai Danai Chichi Ushimo.
Jesus.
Hi, Domo.
Oh my, no, please. Dear God, don't do this to me. Oh, I'm not anywhere near enough of a weeb for this.
You're listening to Amazingly Terrible, the podcast that asks, can you flick a bean far enough to cause it to grow your stalk? My name's Adam.
I have to endorse this. I am Matt. I'm Mike.
I'm David. And
Excellent.
Together we form Bad Podcasting.
The worst podcast. Ha ha ha.
Form of annoying white men.
Shape of fat.
Oh. A little close to home there.
so getting right into it.
Yes, right in.
Oh, we're going... No, Marin? Go straight in.
Yeah, we're actually
No.
probably not supposed to be doing that as a podcast.
Oh, really?
We're
We
bad
need
at
to start
podcasting?
cutting the fat out of all of David's editing.
No.
It's more acceptable to put that like at the end.
Really? Okay.
More
Okay.
acceptable.
Okay.
I don't think it's acceptable.
Did
But let's
we
get
get
into it.
some notes from advertisers or something?
No, just reading some basic theory.
Gotcha.
Some pod theory?
Yeah.
Pod theory.
Pod theory.
Yeah, I failed that class.
So what David's actually telling us is that we need to get to the point and start.
Well,
he's basically
we can
the only
list-
thing I ever hear from him is him just screaming, "You're unfunny! Stop being unfunny!"
No, my favorite was Derek's. Come on, guys! Funnier, faster, funnier, faster!
Yeah.
Go, go, go!
Stab.
All right. So,
Yes. Okay.
getting to the background, I couldn't really find a lot of background information on this. so instead I have a bonus round. What or not?
Oh,
Everyone put your internet down.
okay.
Okay.
Done and done.
Now name a character from the movie.
Jack.
Jack.
Okay, Adam said Jack.
I also said Jack, but
You'll have to pick someone
I did
else.
it just a little bit before him.
Are we? Do we have to say something different?
Yes, you do.
I picked the dog.
Okay. Mike?
But what's the dog's name? Isn't it like
Crosby.
Crosby? That's right.
Crosby.
Crosby.
Point to here, girl.
I mean,
okay.
they're both
Differences.
monsters. Both Cosby and Crosby are both terrible people.
That's true. That is true.
All right.
There's not an upside there.
Well, one beat children, the other one.
Now remember, no looking this
Big
up on the
gap.
internet.
Okay.
Tulip was the name of the big. It was the name.
Yeah,
of the
he was the giant.
So it was either Two Lips or Tulip. I kept on calling him Two Lips
Tulip.
because he had the two lips.
He really
I
only had the
wasn't
one.
told that there was going to be a quiz on this.
Yeah. I have two lists of names of the characters. Both lists are the same length.
Okay.
One of these lists are characters voiced by Billy Lou Watt, and the other list is characters voiced by other people. So, Adam, is Jack
Yes.
Watt or not?
Oh, okay. I believe Jack is. I'm going to say Watt. I think he is Watt.
Is that your ultimate response?
That's my final answer. Yes.
Ultimate response.
You
That's-
are correct.
Sounds so dangerous.
Oh,
Wow.
yes. I was going to say if it wasn't, it was probably some woman like Nancy Cartwright or something, but not Nancy.
Voiced by
Cartwright.
Billy Lou Watt, who also voiced Astro Boy.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
nice. Okay.
So, Matt, your choice of Crosby. Was Crosby
Yes.
Watt or not?
I'm going to go with Watt.
Is that your Omega conjecture?
C.
Oh, I'm sorry. Crosby was voiced by
Frank
Jack
Welker.
Grimes,
Jack
Grimes.
who also voiced General Gustav on Star Blazers.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice.
We're getting a real
Nice.
C list here.
Hey, well, we're getting like some good crossover too.
Well, it's all the people who did anime in the 80s.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, anime 80s.
Or 70s.
Anime 80s.
So, Mike, Princess Margaret.
Yes.
Was she voiced by Billy Lou Watt or someone else?
I'm gonna go with.
Wait, it's
I
a
feel
trick.
like this is a trick question.
Yeah, it's a trick question.
I didn't listen to the voice close enough to tell if it's like. I'm gonna say not.
That seems safe.
Is that your
yeah.
your concrete hypothesis?
Affirmative.
Concrete hypothesis.
You are correct.
Yes.
Nice.
Princess Margaret was voiced by Corinne Orr, who did Nova on
Okay.
Star Blazers.
Oh, nice.
So they just took the whole cast of Star Blazers.
And reuse them.
They just poached the entire stuff.
Well, for the American version.
Yeah.
Well, Billy Lou
Cool.
Watt also did Jimmy Sparks on Gigantor,
Nice. Okay.
and she also did Ma on Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
interesting.
Kind of a big jump there.
Yeah.
But Adam and Mike, you have earned bonus redemptions.
Oh, sweet.
No, fucking undeserved. I demand a recount.
Excellent. When is the next match? When's the next time you're going to be on here? You got 2 more weeks before you're getting your redemption, so we could really fuck with the list now, and you won't remember.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you could create some sort of horrific hellscape for me. Both upvote the same thing.
Yeah, we'll both upvote reboot. just to get on David's good side.
Curse on your family.
Nice. Who did Tulip? Who was the voice of Tulip?
So Tulip was Ray Owens, who did
Ray
Lex
Owens.
Luthor in the 1967 New Adventures of Superman.
Wow.
Wow.
And yeah, he also did the Beans Seller.
Oh, he did. Oh, that makes sense.
But the additional voices for Billy Lou Watt are the Witch Nor and the Harp.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. The Jax did sound exactly like
And the Mother.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, she barely has any lines. Very few.
Well, she's good enough. She's like,
Right there at the beginning she does, but after that,
Yeah.
after she beats her son profusely,
Right.
she doesn't have many lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that bean seller, man. Whoa.
So the audio is one thing on this, like the actual like voiceover work, but like the Foley work that they have for it, like some of the sound effects they put in this were really banging for me. Like I really was into like the
I was loving the
Bean
background
Cellar
paintings.
organ. Background paintings were good too, yeah. But like that organ playing was
It's so
crazy.
annoying.
It was annoying. It was crazy, but it was
like
very
not a
distinctive.
musical. No human would design that musical instrument.
Exactly.
That's like the kind of instrument that an AI would inflict upon us.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
Oh, they like plinking noises. Here's a thing that plinks.
Yeah, it's like a pachinko parlor and a pipe organ, something like that.
Yeah, basically.
The golden goose, like the noise that made when it was like flying around.
Oh,
To
that
me,
was
I
awesome.
just like, wow, that was amazing. Yeah.
Okay. So we are watching Jack and the Beanstalk. It's an anime from 1974 when the Japanese were more heavily influenced by Disney animation styles.
Yeah, I could see
It
that.
was released in the
Oh,
US
yeah.
in 1976 and on VHS in 1984.
Oh,
Wow.
I did a deep dive into the original Japanese version.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, how'd that come out?
What the fuck were they thinking?
The Japanese film is 4 minutes longer than the English version, and there are no cut scenes. They just sped up the frame rate in order to make the film shorter, which is why the picture quality is much poorer in the English version, because none of the stills are clean.
Yeah. Nice.
Why did they do that? What were they saving for those 4 minutes for?
I have no idea.
I am positive that probably some studio executive came back and was like, okay, it has to be under this time.
Because they have scenes where like a character
Yeah.
moves clear across left to right from one side of the screen to the other. Like they have
And they
scenes
could've
where like
cut
the
that.
giant
Yeah.
the giant walks out of frame into the horizon. Like, do you know how long that takes?
And there's a scene that's actually like on my screen right now where we have the rooster trying to sneak up on the dog. It serves no purpose. There's nothing to it. It's played maybe for some type of comedy, but they could have cut that entirely too. So
And that's the whole rooster subplot. It's very important for the character development.
It's so hard for me to consider this anime, considering that it really bears no resemblance to most of other Japanese animation.
I think there's one very distinct way in which it's a lot like a lot of Japanese animation.
And especially the animation of the time. I think that Princess
it's
Margaret is
batshit insane.
animated.
Well, yeah.
Well, and that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Oh yes, and Princess Margaret.
It might seem more Japanese if they'd included the terrible intro and outro song, which I did not.
Really?
did not-
I think we did okay on terrible songs. I think
think
we're
we did
just
too.
fine.
Are you sure it wouldn't be better with a stick figure and a bowler hat that screams at children?
I can't think of many things that wouldn't be better with a stick figure and a bowler hat screaming at children. I could dig that. Do we have that? Is that
Is
a
it
piece
something
of
we could
media floating
do?
around?
I could show that to you.
Is it the visual equivalent of
Please,
our
yeah.
podcast?
Oh, well, half the screen is credits. And then in the outro song, they don't even have any animation. It's just a black screen while the song plays. But it's basically just the intro song again.
Wow.
So they redid the credits over the top of the beginning of the movie?
Yeah. Well,
Huh. And they still had to cut 4 minutes or speed it up by 4 minutes.
right.
Anyway, go on your research.
No, that's it for the research. That's
That's it.
Oh, wow.
There's no. You've answered every question, but
without
why?
buying a physical book about Japanese animation. That's as much as I could find out.
Okay.
Nice. What's really funny to me is I looked on IMDb earlier today of all the timings for this. There are like dozens and dozens and dozens of positive reviews of this anime from people that watched it when they were kids.
Yeah.
That spent like a better portion of their misspent early days in their life trying to find the anime again. And as soon as it was released to like a wider audience on VHS somewhere, they were like touting how great it was and how much they love the music and how they wish anime was like this nowadays. And this is like the one Japanese anime they can get behind.
The one that's exactly like a Disney film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. But
exactly.
in my mind, I'm like, really? This is like
If you'd never
this is
seen
your nostalgia point?
if you'd never seen anime before, this would have blown your mind.
I guess so. I guess you're right. I guess that.
If
would
you'd
be
never
the
seen
case.
animation,
But-
this would have blown your mind. Honestly, this blew my fucking mind. I feel like David, you did it. You did it, buddy.
I do have to agree with you, but for me, it was more about the insane batshit music that is in this, and like I want to know more about the production of this music because obviously this was not Japanese music, so
No.
they had to come up with musical scores.
This is
in the US.
this is the same score in Japanese.
Oh no!
Oh, did they just do a direct translation of the lyrics, or is it
No, it's
they just kept the music and they added words?
No, they released it in English in Japan.
no. It was in Japanese. I have.
Oh, it was in Japanese.
Yes. When I say the original Japanese version, I have the original Japanese version.
Oh, okay, nice.
Wow.
But so they had like the same music. They had the same like actual music to it, but they changed the lyrics. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
they
all the lyrics.
a little bit. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
The main difference is that the cloud people are actually fairies.
Okay. Like they call themselves fairies?
Yeah, they call themselves
Basically.
fairies. And that part at the end, the princess actually says, cloud fairies aren't allowed to go down to the place below the overworld.
Oh, okay.
The place below the overworld.
Nice.
Instead of being like, I have duties.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
unspecified
Like-
duties.
I am a fucking princess, soon to become queen because of
Mm-hmm.
the way this section is going to work here. I ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah. I ain't got time for you, Jack.
I ain't got time for some 10-year-old kid. By the way, I've been smashing a giant for like the last 15 years. I don't know if you're going to be able to do it for me, kid.
Jeez.
Wow.
we should start
Alright.
jumping ahead.
Are we going in order here? Or, yeah.
All right.
No, we can cut that bit. We can cut that.
Yeah, we
No,
can move it.
no, that stays.
We open on Jack waking up and going about his morning farm chores. In the background, a song is threatening to break out, and yes, this is a children's musical.
Yes.
Yep.
And he fails at every single chore.
Yeah.
Yep.
We meet Jack's mother, dog, chicken, and cow.
Yes.
Then we start a pointlessly happy song where Jack checks on his net and snare traps.
Now, before this, in the first part of the intro here, there's like Jack runs out to go do these things, and his dog stays behind for a brief moment, pissing off the mom. And when they do a shot of the dog, it's like around 1:30, 1:40, something like that. The dog is sitting at the head of the table with his arm up,
Yeah,
like it's
Yeah.
dad waiting.
yeah, he's
for
rushing on his elbow.
breakfast. Yeah, but his other hand is below the table suspiciously. So
You think that
I wonder what the mom's getting pissed off about right there. But
Oh my. All right. You think the dog is masturbating?
hey, I didn't say that. I said he could be.
You think that
He
he's watching her,
could be masturbating.
he's watching her work that dough and it just gets him so excited.
That's exactly. That's right.
The dog does seem to have quite the imagination and an almost Don Quixote-like imagination.
Exactly.
The dog is psychotic, but he also is the biggest addition to this story. Like,
Oh no, yeah.
Of
He
the
was like
co-
the comic centerpiece. He was the.
yeah.
I think that he was made there to put in there to make it a little bit more accessible to kids. I know it's a kid that's the main character, but having the dog as the comic relief really kind of like breaks it up.
Yes,
So-
his dog is a big floppy-eared hound dog that has an inexplicable
Yeah.
rivalry with a chicken. After checking on the traps, Jack returns to the barn and discovers that the cow hasn't milked herself.
Yeah. As I was watching, I was like, I don't think Jack knows how to milk a cow. It's
Yeah.
just a cow straining over a bucket.
Yeah.
This scene went on
Maybe
way
that's
too-
why she can't get any milk out.
this scene went on way too long and
Yeah.
started to border a little bit with the cow's face into some severe Ren and Stimpy territory. Where you're like, what are they doing? What is
Yeah.
this supposed to represent?
And I also like the fact they have the rooster there staring at the udder,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow, the cow is like straining, trying to give a tiny drop of milk.
Yeah. So, rather abruptly, his mother orders Jack to take the cow to the butcher.
Yeah.
So Jack starts walking the cow, and a song plays that's upbeat and depressing, but mostly not good.
But
This is one of the his whole behavior throughout this is he seems to really care about the cow, and then this whole time he's like riding on top of her and dancing
and,
around,
like, smiling and enjoying the day, and like,
Yeah.
we're going to the butcher. We're going to the butcher.
And I was like, they're really doing a hack job on Jack here. He is way dumber than he is usually.
Yes. Jack hears music up ahead and discovers a hooded man playing a half harpsichord, half wagon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That thing is so weird.
The man starts laughing creepily, and Jack starts laughing idiotically.
Yeah.
This is
like the music
scene.
is making him laugh, and like the music, like you said it's a half wagon, half harpsichord. I'd also say half theremin in there somewhere because this is like the weird sounds that are coming off this thing.
Well, it's also a player piano. This is the scene in which I was like, there's been some warnings that we're going to go off the rails a little bit with this cartoon. There's been some indications, but this is the head-on collision with another train. Like we are in midair in the engine, arcing over the ravine that's
straight towards the damsel tied to the tracks on the other side of the ravine.
Yeah, slow motion.
And then there's the big reveal of the harpsichord player pulls his hood back and it reveals that he's a man with a beard and an eye patch.
Yeah,
so like Bluto.
He looks like
Bluto. Yeah, I don't know what the big reveal is all about.
Yeah,
but
but
he had an eye patch, I guess.
I think that's probably what it was. Yeah.
and it's not even a real eye patch. The eye under his eye patch is fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's
He's just wearing it for effect.
Such a weird sounding organ.
It's not good. The organ sounds, like we were saying, like a Plinko machine, but it also doesn't sound like music in any way. It's like, it's like two notes that just get repeated.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's just weird. That scene freaked me out.
It sounds like me playing with my child's xylophone is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's
kind of what it is. It's like a kid's toy. Yeah.
But Jack basically tells him, "I'm a gullible rube." So the man says, "Music is magical, and I can play magic, so that makes me a wizard. Buy my magic beans."
Yeah.
And Jack is like, "Shut up and take my cow."
Nice.
Yeah, Jack he really goes all in. He has a moment where he's like, "No, I'm smart. I'm not buying this." And then he's just like, "No, I demand you cheat me.
I can't afford not to take this opportunity."
Yeah.
Yes, we're so poor and destitute. Give me the beans.
And throughout this, the cow is making reaction faces that say, "Take me to the butcher where I'll be killed. Don't leave me here alone with this creepy guy in a robe."
Yeah, so the cow is like desperate to get away from this guy. And what I don't want to do too many spoilers, but there is a spoiler here.
Okay.
When everything is settled, and we know how Jack and the Beanstalk ends, but when everything's settled and Jack has the beans too, he does not go back for his fucking cow. That cow is now dead to him. So
The way he walks away, though, once he gets the beans, he's written that cow out of his life.
Yeah. Didn't even get to get any steaks out of it.
So back at home, Jack's matronly peasant mother is yelling at him for being stupid, and then spanks him with a broom.
She really
For a
lays
moment,
into
I
him.
thought she was going to do something else with that broom.
Yeah,
like just the way they were setting it up was just like, oof.
He
was pretty horrific.
He was kneeling down at a like a straight angle and not at a 90-degree angle like you expect for spanking.
Yeah, exactly. But instead of giving him the shaft of the broom, she decides to spank him with the head of the broom. So
It was definitely meant to make your mind go to that other place, though.
This whole scene's pretty dark.
it does.
Yeah.
And basically just the mother calling the kid an idiot over and over and over and over and over again, and him like agreeing with her. And I think the main line that we get out of this is miracles don't happen. Is that right? Or miracles just don't happen.
Well,
I
hold
can't
on.
remember what the line was.
Well, the beans are thrown out the window and everyone goes to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she flicks the beans.
But then, overnight, the beans grow into a Broadway jazz song.
They like achieve sentience. They're like talking about their place in the narrative.
Yeah. The Beanstalk does make an awful lot of noise throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And like in this part, there is the very like fast, frenetically paced singing of growing rapidly.
I just hear the executive who's like, "It's called Jack and the Beanstalk. We really need to make the Beanstalk more of a character."
Nice.
Man, if I ever meet this executive, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
let him.
going to be a Japanese
I'm just-
executive because
yeah,
they actually They kept the song, so
I'm just picturing you just wailing on a 90-year-old Japanese man. He's crying and apologizing, and you're just smashing him.
I'm kidding. Elder abuse is a very serious crime.
Oh, Jesus.
that you've committed on many occasions.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
Mike is very serious about his elder abuse.
Yeah, he doesn't consider it elder abuse unless they're directly related to him.
So next, a mouse dressed like a princess climbs down the beanstalk. She introduces herself to the dog and proceeds to explain the entire plot of the film in a series of squeaks and interpretive dance.
Yeah. And it's surprisingly good. Like, I got it right away. Yeah. She's been turned into a mouse by an evil creature.
By a giant. She makes giant hand movements. And then points up to the clouds. What I did not get was that she was a fairy. But I don't think anybody actually said fairy in this one. They may have, changed one of her squeaks that sounded like fairy to something else, just so they're not talking about the cloud fairies. So.
Right.
So Jack comes outside, sees the beanstalk, sees the mouse, decides he's dreaming, so why not climb up it? So we have a sequence of Jack and his dog climbing the vines up until they come out of a well into a courtyard.
And again, this is another one of those, why did they speed up the film? Because this goes on for a long fucking time.
Right.
This actually might have been 4 minutes in and of itself. Him just climbing the beanstalk.
Don't even forget about the whole subplot where the mouse is fighting off an owl. They could have cut all of that.
Yeah, I sure cut that out of my summary.
Never comes up again.
So standing in the courtyard watching him is a girl. This is Princess Margaret, who, unlike the mouse, is wearing a simple sundress.
And he's high as a fucking kite.
Yeah, you can see it in her eyes. She is doped up.
Yeah.
Crazy. And she is the only really Japanese anime-looking character.
Yeah.
This entire movie.
Her head ends in a candle wick. Her head wicks up.
Her statement is that she's never seen Jack before, she doesn't like mice, and that her parents are dead are all delivered with the same inflection.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's also randomly floating around on a cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the only time we see the clowns being able to be used in this fashion, which is bizarre to me because it feels like this would have been a handy device to have later on in the movie.
Well,
as we get to the action pieces.
Well, Margaret is zipping around like Goku on Nimbus, while Jack looks like he's struggling to free himself from a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
One of the ones that's lost a lot of its beans.
Yeah. Slightly underdeflated.
Yeah.
Or slightly deflated beanbag chairs. Yeah.
And she sings a song about how happy she is.
No one's happier than I feel like reaching up to touch the sky.
Yes. And you know what's funny is most of the reviews that I was talking about reading on IMDb talked about this song and how catchy it was and how it defined their youth.
What a terrible youth.
Yeah. But the thing that really struck me is most of the songs, and this one in particular to me, it sounded distinctly like late 60s, early 70s. Mm-hmm. It felt like I would not have been surprised to see something like this. Like them doing a weird musical montage on the original Doctor Who when it came out. And it sounded like this. So it definitely is very anachronistic in its...
It's like we really want to be
style.
Yellow Submarine, but we lack the conviction.
Well, and talents, too. So.
Yeah, there's that, too.
Because even if you don't like the Beatles, they were talented at the very least.
We could debate this. At any rate.
Margaret invites Jack into the castle and tells him about her fiancé, Prince Tulip, and his mother, Madame Hecuba.
Hecuba, that's what it was, yes.
Oh, she's the
Madame
best.
Hecuba. She is very good. Honestly, both of them, both Tulip and Hecuba were both
they're scene stealing, movie stealing characters, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody we've met is fucking milquetoast, and these two come in come in like a force of goddamn nature.
Yeah, everybody's kind of like a background player up to this point in time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they reach a large hall, and Jack sees a painting of Prince Tulip, who appears to be an ogre, but Margaret remarks on how handsome he is.
yes.
Yeah.
Next, we meet Madame Hecuba, who is clearly a witch, with gangly limbs and a full foot of neck.
Yes.
Yeah. Half of her neck was chin, and the other half was neck.
That's true. She did have a hell of a chin, too. She had like a pharaoh's chin coming off of her. But no, I do like the fact that when we first see Hecuba, she comments on, "Oh, there's a human child. What type of wiles should I use? Magic or my beauty?" And it's like,
Yeah.
bitch, you ain't got no beauty left. What are you talking about? Beauty?
Well, she's also super excited because she makes it very clear that she's going to eat him.
Yeah.
Like right away, she's just like,
Yeah.
it's been so long, I'm going to eat him.
Yeah, she makes a remark about fattening Jack up and leads him away to dinner. On the way, a creepy voice echoes down the hallway, warning Jack to run away. But Hecuba uses her magic to shut the doors to the hallway and ushers Jack into an elevator.
And see, this would have been an interesting theme for them to flesh out as well. Was that the castle talking to Jack?
I think it was the mice. I think it's supposed to be the mice.
So the mice were able to speak English.
In this scene.
Yeah, or maybe was it the harp? Maybe the harp was actually trying to.
No, because the harp's not on his
Jack.
side at all.
Yeah.
No, it's not, but like maybe it's still trying to like stir the shit in some fashion. Maybe the harp's just bored.
Yeah, the harp's
like,
just
trying to create
the
conflict.
harp just likes to fuck shit up. You know, he's like that
Yeah.
guy in the office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The harp is very toxic.
Yeah, he's always stealing all the pens and hiding them in one person's desk, so it looks like that person stole all the pens. It's a real shit stirrer.
Yeah. He winds up defacing your TPS reports, making you go back and redo them all over again.
Right? Yeah.
Sends all of his personal printing to the copy machine so as it gets used up. So when you do business copies, you can't.
He always arranges it so if there's a cake for somebody's birthday, it's an erotic cake. Everybody's awkward.
Yeah. And then there's the one time he walked into the boss's office and then beat himself in the head with his fist to make it look like the boss hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they arrive in a large dining room filled with gargoyles. One of the chairs...
This is one of my favorite paintings. This room is one of my favorite paintings. And like there's a couple standout ones, but the zigzag wallpaper in this room is amazing to look at.
Yeah.
And the colors are great.
One of the things leading up to this, though, that we didn't comment on was there is an elevator in this castle. And this is clearly like 1500s, 1400s England. So Jack would have had his mind fucking blown getting into
The
this
elevator.
box that suddenly like appears on a different floor. He goes into a box or he goes into a small room. Then the same door opens and it's a different room.
Yeah. That's kind of like this whole castle really reminded me of a D&D dungeon where like every room is very distinctly different and there's like clearly like regular technology in there, but they've recast it as magic. Reminds me of like a Funhouse dungeon.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. So one of the chairs grabs Jack, and Hecuba spoon feeds him roofie noodle soup.
Yeah. The best part is Jack is screaming with his mouth wide open, saying, "I'm not gonna eat it," making it that much easier for her to force feed him.
Yeah.
Well, he's an idiot.
Yeah. I think we've well established that.
After a few mouthfuls, Jack is completely unconscious, and Hecuba reveals that eating Jack will restore her youth and beauty.
There's a scene. There's a scene where he starts to fall over, and she like scuttles around the entire length of. So disturbing.
It is. I was going to talk about that. Like, it's very disturbing, but I liked it a lot. Like,
I loved it. I love the way this character moves.
So
she's
like
so
that,
like hyper energetic.
And the other one that David mentioned was the chair grabbing Jack. That scene where like the chair comes out from the side and like scoops him up into the seat, like that animation right there, that little animation bit. I thought that was really good as well. Like, I really enjoyed that. I don't know why, but it really stuck out to me as being high quality.
Hecuba hears Tulip approaching and hides Jack in a large pot. Tulip...
Yeah. She's pissed that Tulip's showing up. This establishes her, like, distaste for her own son.
Yeah, well, it helps establish her as the real villain.
Yeah.
Tulip slowly plods into the scene, and he's twice as tall as Hecuba, who is twice as tall as Jack. Now, if Princess Margaret is 2/5 the height of Tulip, then is Jack tall enough to ride the Phantom Tollbooth ride?
I hate those math problems.
I'm going to say no.
Yes, he can ride.
Can he survive, though? That's the question. Or is the safety bar just going to keep whacking him in the forehead until he gets brain damage?
Tulip's design is also very 60s, 70s,
Oh, yeah.
with the striped, like the vest and the striped shirt underneath.
Yeah. Well, even the haircut, too, because he's got,
And
like,
the haircut,
long hair
yeah.
with bangs.
He looks like he's got a, what do you call it when a beetle has a mullet? A bullet?
It's like a more refined mullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a bowl mullet.
A British mullet.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
A Liverpool mullet.
That's when they say, horrible teeth up front, party in the back.
That's horrible.
Okay.
Dental hygienist's nightmare in the front.
Yeah.
Barber's wet dream in the back.
There you go.
God.
Nothing but verdant fields of fluffy hair.
That's right.
All right, so Tulip sits at the table, and Hecuba summons some cartoon-style meat with a bone sticking through it for him.
And I really wanted to know what this meat was, because I don't think there's any animal with legs large enough to have a bone set up like that.
I think it's one of those French prepared bones where the butcher will actually cut
away
all of the cartilage away and leave this little strip. It's kind of like lamb chops where, like, you know, to have them perfect, like in a restaurant, they actually carve away most of what you would see, like, that's in a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
they cut away most all of the lamb, to be honest.
That's true.
True. You barely see any of it.
Hooves, teeth.
And then they add those little pom-pom thingies on the legs, and they're really cute.
Pom-poms.
But no, like the size of these things was really what was setting me off. It's like, if this was, because it essentially would be the size of a cow. So what has the leg the size of a cow? Is he eating, like, mammoth?
I'll give you one guess.
Is it a cow?
It's a cow.
Yay, I got it right.
You did it.
No. The legs are the size of a cow, not the size of a cow's. Not the size of a cow's leg, the size of a cow itself.
He's not that big. He's like double the height of a
He kind
human.
of seems it. He looked like he's triple height. Well, in all fairness, they do play around with his height a little bit.
Yeah, he changes size.
Size is kind of squishy. So.
Anyway, David, take us
Right.
forward.
Yeah.
So then she starts nagging him to stop acting like such an animal. He's getting married tomorrow, and she doesn't want to move back to the cave they used to live in.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Tulip the Giant perks up his prehensile nose, and it starts to twitch as he starts sniffing along the ground on all fours. He smells a human, and Hecuba is unable to dissuade him verbally or physically from entering the kitchen.
Yeah, he's a force in nature.
But when they open that pot, Jack has vanished.
Apropos of nothing.
Yeah, I was waiting for the reveal here of, like, which of the other factions took him. And then it's just like, nope, he woke up.
No, he just woke up and got out on his own.
He just wandered away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, the hypnotic roofie noodle soup that the Hecuba gave him was not powerful enough for his tiny 10-year-old frame.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
His sure
Well, idiots are
imbecility.
notorious for being able to get out of sticky situations because they get into them so often that they have a natural defense mechanism to get out. Don't ask me why I know that.
So you think maybe, like, he's been eating so many poison berries as he's, like, out foraging for food that he's built up an immunity to certain poisons?
Yeah, and then naturally he wakes up whenever he's knocked out because it's been happening so often that his body knows to get out of those kind of situations.
That's how I built up my immunity to a crossbow bolt in the gut.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Just a little bit at a
Yeah.
time.
I keep on eating a little bit of lead every day so that someday I'll be bulletproof.
There you go.
Yeah. I do
There
the
it
same
is.
thing with radioactive material. A little bit of cesium every day.
Mayor West, you have cancer.
That's why I'm depressed, so that I'm just building up my immunity to dying of depression.
Perfect. Exactly.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yep. Just a little bit every day.
I was trying to come up with like a funny iocane powder, but I don't think that's.
I think that's
but
what we
I
were
don't
all
think
getting
there-
at.
I don't think there was one in there, so.
So they rush to search the castle, but the first one to find Jack is his dog, who is doing a silly sneaking mime.
Yeah, they could have cut this.
Meanwhile, more
Could have cut all this.
more mice wearing clothes have shown up, including an old mouse with an épée who is trying to steal the Don Quixote title from Crosby, the dog.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's sing a quick song in mouse squeaks.
That's true. As they're like going through like the chimney spaces and everything.
Yeah, they're climbing through the walls Barrow style.
Yeah. And I do have a question here because I think we have a group of like 7 or 8 mice basically. Half of them have clothes, half of them do not. So my question is the half that have clothes human and the half that do not just regular mice that are now helping the mouse humans? Or are they just naked villagers that are like
They've just glommed
going
on.
more
They're
mouse.
mice that are like, oh, maybe if we just hang out with these guys, we could turn into humans.
yeah, when they figure this shit out, they'll turn us into humans.
I think at the end they show that they are humans and they've just given up on reverting and accepted that they are mice now.
Moused them.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Except
Yes,
that the
yes.
animators were lazy.
Nice, nice.
So they climb through the walls and end up in a room full of treasure.
Ooh, this is another one of my favorite scene paintings. This room is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On top of a pile of coins is a harp, which alternately insults Jack as a thief and screams for help on her next door app.
Yeah.
The harp is a total carrot.
Yes, I was going to say, we could call this harp Karen.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Just even
But
down
yeah.
to the fact that she only speaks the truth, you know?
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Yeah. People don't like it. That's why people get upset.
Jack manages to
Yes.
flatter her into expositioning the backstory. Tulip has killed the king and queen, while Hecuba turned everyone else into mice and put Princess Margaret under an enchantment. Or the Japanese version, Jack says, "The princess is insane. Yep, definitely insane."
Nice, nice.
Awesome.
That's interesting. So in the Japanese version, they actually just say she's insane. It's not a spell that's been placed on her.
Well, no, that's Jack's interpretation of how the princess was acting.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
Like he hears the same story and he just says, she's insane.
She's insane. Got it. Good to go.
Got it.
And the harp's like, no, no, no. And Jack's like, you don't need to tell me anything else. I got it. I'm ready. Give me my gun.
I'm gonna help her. Like Lenny.
The only way I know how. And then also in that backstory too, we get that the enchantment has to be basically redone every night. So it is
Yeah.
nightly enchantments that they place on the
Yeah.
princess.
I can see why Hecuba wants to get out of this, because man, that's a pain in the ass, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Another nightly chore to take care
Oh,
of.
another thing. Jesus. Why can't I just
walk the
enchant you
dog.
to enchant yourself, man?
Gotta do the dishes.
Yeah.
Gotta water the plants. And now I gotta enchant the princess? Jesus, I'm never getting to bed.
Don't be careful. You don't want to overwater the plants. You shouldn't be watering them every day.
Well, in the current environment we have set up, yes. Don't worry. Don't worry. My wisteria is coming in nicely. I'm growing it in order to prevent demon attacks.
Oh, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
Prevents
I want to grow
demons.
it for that exact same
That's,
reason.
that's a Demon Slayer anime
Reference.
joke reference.
Okay.
I got it.
Mike got it.
I got it.
So just then, Tulip unlocks the door to the treasure room and everyone scatters to find hiding places. He asks the harp if she knows where the human is, but the mice are holding her strings so she can't talk. And Jack impersonates her voice because they have the same voice actress.
Yes. It's perfect. Perfect impersonation.
So then the giant starts going through his keepsakes, asking his golden goose to lay a golden egg, looking at his pet lizard in a cage.
That he keeps in a drawer.
Yeah. And then he takes out a wind-up toy doll of his mother.
This is just
It was-
distressing.
And we start another song, yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, he activates the toy, and it sings a song about how much she hates him.
Yeah, it just heaps abuse on him, and he loves it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then at the end of the song, he smashes his mother doll.
This whole scene, I loved every second of all of this scene.
Yes.
Everything with Tulip. I find Tulip incredibly compelling.
Yeah, he is a hell of a character. He's actually very interesting when it comes to like everything that he has done.
Yeah.
And I by the end of it, like I don't know if you guys felt this, but I actually kind of felt bad for Tulip. I was like,
Oh, me too.
can't you guys just like incorporate him into your society in some fashion?
Yeah, he seems like a
What's wrong
total.
with those?
He's a total victim.
Yeah. That's right. The large white male, he's just the victim in all.
He's the victim in all of this. You know, he didn't have a choice.
But
he just fell in love. You know.
that's true. That's true. Like he did genuinely seem like he did love the princess. So
Yeah.
because like at the end of the scene, she calls him and he like runs off excited to go see his love. So
I also really identified him because he has to get down and crawl through every door, and just the
that's
thought
a
of having
pain
to
in the
do
ass.
that. Oh, it sucks so much. If you had to crawl through a tiny little like pet door every time you had to enter an extra room, my back would be
And then-
killing me.
and then you get into like the hallway and you have to like go like turn sideways. You have to like shuffle sideways to get down the hallway.
And
my
then
God, I
crawl.
Because you
forget
know,
about
not all
that.
the hallways are like, yeah, and then like kind of like
Yeah.
in that side shuffle, try to like lean down.
Hashtag
and
not
squeeze yourself
all
through the
hallways.
next door. So,
God.
but in here, this is when we first hear the sound of the golden goose flying, and I'm here for that. That
Yeah.
I
In
like that a
general,
lot. It makes
this
it
whole
very good.
sequence is a winner.
This was a good one. Even down to the point that like Jack was like, "Oh, there's all of this gold. I'm rich. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna bring all this back home to Mom. She's gonna forgive me for not selling the cow properly or getting the cow butchered." And like he starts collecting up gold, and he totally forgets about the princess and everything else. And Crosby has to
Yeah.
like flash him a locket of the princess to remind him that there's other shit going on that he might need to take care of.
Crosby really pulls a Jiminy Cricket here.
Yeah.
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 But Tulip
Yeah.
but Tulip leaves and Margaret gives him a human-sized outfit to wear to their wedding.
Yeah, I was like, is that thing made out of spandex? Like, what the fuck? How are you expecting him to wear that goddamn thing?
Hecuba offers to help the princess with her makeup, and it's clear that this makeup is the magic that's enchanting her.
This scene is quite beautiful. They're doing it in front of the sunset, and it looks like
it's like
looks like
Twilight outside.
Fantasia. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like in a parapet type deal. It's like open to the elements. It's very nice looking.
Yeah. The animals are trying to talk Jack into fighting the giant, but he can't even stand up in the adult-sized armor they have in the arsenal.
Yeah.
So Jack sings an especially terrible song about being a coward and decides to just rob the treasury and run back home.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Are all of these songs exceptionally poor songs, David? Because I feel like that's where we're heading in this podcast.
None of the music in this is good. It's all really weird.
The main theme is
It's all really
the main
weird.
theme's good.
Well, and it like sticks with you. The last one is a horrible. The Tulip song is horrible, but it was stuck in my head for days.
Oh yeah. It's a real earworm.
Yeah,
On his way out, Jack somehow winds up in the princess's bedroom.
Yeah, he's collected things from the treasury.
Yeah, he's got the golden goose. He's got a bunch of gold gems and necklaces and shit. All in a satchel that's kind of, I think it's tied around his neck at one point in time. Not here in this scene, but later on, as he's in the well, it looks like it's just tied around his neck, like it's choking him. He seems to be fine.
Yeah, the princess is calling out in her sleep for Jack to save her, because the GM is really trying to railroad this adventure.
Yeah, yes. I would totally do this. Yeah, really lay it on thick.
The giant shows up and chases Jack back to the well. Back home, Jack has dumped a pile of coins and jewels on the kitchen table in front of his mother and sings a song about how money will solve all their problems.
Yeah. I did think that there was some nice character building moment when he jumps in the well and then proceeds to fake his own death by like pretending to scream all the way down the well. This is like the beginning of being like, okay, he's starting to get it, you know, like he's starting to get it together.
Because this is supposed to be the bottomless well, so this is the well that opens up to empty sky underneath. He manages to like stop on a ledge with his dog, most importantly, because Crosby was intending to stay behind as Jack left, because Crosby felt the call to duty much more than Jack did. So,
but Crosby rescues him from Tulip, and they both go and are singing a song about that's kind of a little weird because it kind of sounds like there's a sort of a romantic tinge to this, the way he's singing to his mother.
Like between him and his mother,
yeah.
Like he's gonna take care of her, and make her happy.
But don't worry, people. The most batshit insane thing is about to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Crosby the dog is watching this disapprovingly from the window, and then he bizarrely starts singing his own song about sadness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing, out of nowhere, he just starts singing, and like when I was watching this, I was like, "Oh, this is like the song that's in Crosby's mind." This kind of makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what's in his heart.
Crosby's.
You know?
This is what's in. Yeah, exactly. This is what's in his heart. But no.
But yeah.
But we get to the
with perfect
the end of the song.
With perfect comic timing. After the dog is finished singing, the camera pans over, and Jack and his mother are just staring dumbfounded.
And Jack says, "You can talk?"
But Crosby, of course, answers with like a bark and a howl. So Crosby's just like, "I don't know what came over me. I can't actually talk. I'm just a normal dog. Bark, bark."
Hey, wait a minute. There's no such thing as a talking dog. Damn straight.
Well, they never resolve this. This is this is an open mystery.
And Jack doesn't care. He accepts it pretty quickly. He's like, "Oh, you're right. We gotta go."
Yeah. He concludes that this was a miracle, not magic, because this is the 70s and Satanic Panic is setting it.
Well, it's a sign that he has to go back and capture the princess.
Yeah. Well, and this goes back to like I think what they were trying to get as a central theme, because the mother did say at some point in time earlier on, miracles just don't happen. And now Jack's like, "Oh, this is a miracle. It did just happen," which means I now have it's a sign that I have to go save the princess. But it's dumb. Like I don't. Why have the dog sing at all?
Because they had they're like, we commissioned an extra song. Okay. How can we use this?
Yeah. We got one more song we gotta fit in.
Yeah.
I know what we gotta do.
Hey,
make the dog sing.
Yeah, we're under by 4 minutes. Can we add another song?
It's true. They could have just cut this out too. And just had like, because I'm sure there's somewhere in here where Jack is talking to Crosby. That could just be Jack talking to Crosby, going like, "I know we should save the princess. Let's go." You know.
Well, Crosby even tells him.
Be the bit of it.
Crosby even like makes it clear that he wants to go back, and Jack could have just listened the first time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, yeah. So, back at the castle, it's the next day. Everyone is gearing up for the wedding. Tulip is wearing his leisure jacket and scratching himself. Margaret is in front of the mirror in her wedding dress. And Hecuba is laying life-size paper cutouts on all the church pews.
Loved this.
And everybody seems very happy, I gotta say. Like, especially Tulip seems to be very, very happy.
Yeah.
This is when you start to, like, kind of feel for him a little bit.
Yeah. No, he wants to get married. He loves the princess.
Yeah, Jack sneaks back into the castle and directly into the treasure room.
That's
and
right.
Mouse Princess is so happy that she kisses Crosby.
Yeah. Again, weird.
So Jack grabs an axe and threatens the harp into revealing how to break the spell on the princess. The movie is a Disney-style fairy tale, so of course the answer is kissing someone brave.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against, non-consensual.
A kiss from someone brave.
Kiss from a
Yeah.
brave person. Yeah.
They're like they were all written, in the 1950s by white men. So of course the answer is objectify women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the scene right now. He's got a golden axe. They made a golden axe. Of
course they did.
Into that room. Like, why would anybody make a golden axe?
They used it again later for the video game. Same axe.
Like,
That's the answer.
nice.
So now,
Nice video game reference. Now I gotta look up golden axe. See if there's any other jokes we can make up. No,
the psychedelic
Something about
wedding is
dwarves.
starting.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
It is amazing, but it is like it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's really expertly timed because it starts off being like, okay, everything's green, and it's a little wavy, and it
Everything's
gets a
green, too.
little more wavy, and things are just getting weirder and weirder, and all of the paper people are like singing bizarre things.
Yeah, they have a paper priest. They have a paper crowd for people to witness the wedding. It's just all like paper cutouts.
Yeah,
so.
the priest is talking the vows, and all the paper dolls are standing up like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Is this Japanese culture sneaking in? Does this have to do like with the shinigamis or the the little
think it does.
paper?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like
be.
the actual like blessings, like the paper
No,
blessings and all that.
no. The people. I guess easiest major reference would be Naruto, where you have the little paper dolls basically, and you can summon spirits and stuff, and you can do incantations on them, the pieces of paper,
Yes,
and
I think
they
it
can
is.
come alive.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, you think so?
Mike,
Yeah, I think so.
watch Kakaishi.
Okay.
Hecuba is fantasizing about turning the princess and her own son into mice, and Tulip is fantasizing about riding a wrecking ball Hannah Montana style.
Meanwhile, the princess is again fucking bombed out of her gourd. She is so high.
She, high as shit and hallucinating. Like we actually in this scene we get to see what she sees in Tulip, and he is like a Prince Charming type character.
Yeah.
In her hallucination, in her mind. And I do like the fact that Hecuba tries to fix all of her problems by turning them into mice. That's like her. That's her
It's her
go-to.
go-to, Well, if you got one, when everything looks like a nail to you, wait, no. When all you got is a device that turns people into mice.
When you're a mousetrap, all the world's a mouse.
Yeah, when
There
you're
you
a
go.
mousetrap. When you've built yourself to be a better mousetrap.
It's time for Margaret to say I do when Jack bursts through one of the windows. He runs up, says a quick prayer, and kisses the princess.
Yeah, I was getting real Graduate vibes off of this.
I appreciated Jack here. And again, I think good character development because, any other cartoon character would have, made a grand proclamation or beat around the bush or, but he's like, no, gotta kiss her. That solves the problem. I'm just gonna do that first.
Yeah. And I hope that I was brave enough to make it count. Yeah.
The spell is broken, so Tulip gets angry and hulks out. So we have a chase scene with Jack and the princess running away from the even bigger giant.
Yeah, now he's about 4 times the size of a normal human. And he is wrecking shit. He is trashing this castle.
Yeah, he fucking destroys the place. This whole sequence was great.
Yeah.
Where he's just busting through walls and shit.
Yeah, and walking down the steps and like shoving his foot through the steps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the stairs animation was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It was cool. I liked it. I dug it. And of course, there's exciting frenetic music going on here too.
So the witch blocks their path, and the pair are caught between Hecuba and Tulip. Hecuba,
This again felt like very like another D&D level where Hecuba turns it into like a flat platform and they're in the middle of a void.
So this is where Hecuba orders Tulip to crush the pair of them underfoot, and this is the moment the Tulip decides he's had enough, and he squashes Hecuba instead. Black smoke pours out, and all of the mice turn back into people.
Breaking all enchantments.
Yeah, basically.
And there's a great moment where Crosby looks down at his paws, and he's disappointed that he's remained a dog.
That's right.
I didn't catch that.
I
Nice,
remember that one.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna get with the handmaiden.
Yeah, it would be funny if they also had like a bunch of random mice hanging around
Yeah.
the ones that got turned into human. They're then looking at themselves like, oh fuck.
They were like, Gerald? Really? Gerald? I was fucking him. He was a mouse the whole time?
Nice.
So Jack and the princess take a breather to discuss things. Jack asks for forgiveness for kissing her and stealing treasure from her castle. The princess decides to forgive him under the circumstances and says that she likes him. So now
We did kind of miss something here though. When after all the smoke is cleared and all the enchantments broken, we do see that Tulip pulls his foot back to look at his crushed dead mother, and she was actually an automaton. It was an animatronic.
Yeah, the body is replaced by the broken wind-up toy that he broke in the treasure room. And when he actually
And I can tell.
and when he steps on her, we don't see her when his foot is coming down.
Oh, really? We just see his foot come down, basically.
Yeah,
So this could be her faking her death, is what you're saying.
I think it's just a children's movie.
Or maybe this is like where Tulip is having a bit of a psychotic break and he can't come to terms with the fact that he just killed his mother. So the image in his own head with the toy that he broke earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, in his mind. Because that's how your mind works.
That's right. Or maybe in the Japanese version, there's like a bloody mess of a pile there, and then for the American version, they just they cut in the toy.
No,
They just cut it all to smoke.
No, like I said,
Originally all that smoke was red.
That is not changed from the Japanese version.
Oh, it has.
The only thing they changed in the English version is they put some words on the front saying "Jack and the Beanstalk: A Musical Journey."
Oh, okay, gotcha.
When he's like washing his face in the morning.
Gotcha. Nice.
So now Jack proposes that they run away together to his dirt farm, and Margaret is like, I have responsibilities here in this clean, lavish castle, so I can't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not allowed to go away from feather beds.
Yeah.
In a place that's like free of grime and disease, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not me. It's my chancellor, my castle steward. He sets the rules for these things. You know, I can't. In fact, anybody that leaves the castle, they can't come back. So I have to stay.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
In fact, you're violating castle law right now, so you need to get the fuck out right now.
Yeah. Jack is upset that she won't come with him. And so Margaret says, "Don't be mad, Jack." And Jack is like, "Gee, I never thought about it that way. Okay, I'm not mad."
Nice Mike joke.
I love it.
The princess is reunited with her castle staff and everyone is happy. Until the giant knocks down the wall and reminds everyone that he's still around.
Yes. But he's not actively going after anybody at this point. He's now just sort of like, oh, I gotta break out of here. And then he's just sort of like moping around. He's not really like doing anything.
Yeah, it's pretty reactive. So
Yeah.
Jack volunteers to defeat the giant and starts taunting Tulip. Things get very Tom and Jerry as the giant chases a little boy to the score of another terrible song.
Yeah, Crosby and him run up to the giant, and Jack stops and whispers into Crosby's ear. He says, "I've got a plan." And he just whispers, and I'm pretty sure what he's whispering is, "Let's just Bugs Bunny his ass. That's all we gotta do. It'll be perfect."
Yeah.
And
He doesn't have a plan. He just watched all of Chuck Jones's animations.
That's right.
Yep.
So they start insulting his intelligence, start giving him a hard time. In the meantime, honestly, this is like right when the rest of the castle guard and the chamberlain and whoever else Margaret's got left over from her royal entourage should be like, hey, we have this giant humanoid who has superhuman strength that's got nothing to do, that seems to be going through a lot of life changes right now because he just killed his own mother in order to protect our princess. Maybe we should enlist him into doing something? Maybe he should be like our primary construction crew, or maybe join the guard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He might be open to change now.
Yeah. They could have incorporated him into their society probably at this point.
And they're like, no.
But no, they're like, hey, you 10-year-old kid, you go...
deal with it.
You go deal with it. We're going to be over here, making sure that our, like, fingers and toes are still intact after being rats.
And so they trick him into diving down the well after them.
Yeah. Jack slides down the beanstalk and grabs an axe.
But two things crazy to me here is just the music. This is another one of the, like, exceptionally bad music choices they made here. But it's very catchy and sticks in your head because it's like, da-da-da-da-da, Tulip. And then, like, just them taunting and, like, making fun of Tulip throughout the entire song. And they're singing it as they're going down the beanstalk. And while they're singing it, while going down the beanstalk, from high in the sky, Jack is just screaming, "Mother! Mother! Get the axe! Mother!"
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
It was just insane to me.
It's what I'd be screaming if I was falling out of the sky while dangling from a beanstalk.
No. You'd be screaming, "Motherfucker!"
Yes.
Jack is about to chop down the beanstalk when he realizes that without the beanstalk, he'll never see Margaret again.
That's right.
But the giant is clambering down towards him, and Jack steels himself, choosing duty over love. Jack strikes with his axe once, and the beanstalk instantly splits open like a rotten tomato, withering and crumbling.
While screaming. There's like weird discordant like accordion music playing while screaming, like overlaid with it. And it's the stalk. Excuse me, again, the beanstalk being one of the primary characters. Is in its death throes.
But Tulip loses his grip and falls to his death.
Yeah.
Well, presumably. We don't see him die. We just see him fall, right?
Well, it's pretty clear he's dead.
I'm waiting for the sequel.
So we fade in sometime later. Life has returned to normal. Jack is back to doing farm chores. The pile of money has changed nothing. The end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Shouldn't they be rich?
That was my entire thought process. Yeah, they should have like an estate in the city somewhere now. Yeah.
Or even just a nicer farm.
Yeah. They've got a giant shaped lake. They should own their estate so they can actually like start having their own servants working the land, essentially. Because this has been the time of serfdom, right? So they should have bought titles for Jack. And started breaking their way into royalty.
Yeah, there you go. Break down those barriers.
He's not breaking them down. He's just jumping over them.
So, what do you guys think of this movie?
God.
I thought
Awful.
that it was amazingly terrible.
Sorry.
It's the music. The music part of it just like made me go, What the fuck? How did David find this?
Okay.
First off, why did David make us watch it? Secondly, but like, I couldn't stop, and like, I'm walking around the house and I'm like whistling to myself.
The whole thing is just a series of very odd decisions from top to bottom, and it kind of comes together to be one of the most horribly beautiful things I've ever seen.
Like, I kind of love it, but I kind of hate it at the same time.
Oh, I've gone over to loving it. It's such it's so weird, yeah. Because you're right. The choice is either like you have to completely dismiss it, or you have to just embrace it into your life.
Yeah, it's weird. What'd you think, Mike? Mike, what'd you get out for this?
It felt like one of those really trippy Looney Tune shows that you saw as a kid that you felt like you're having a fever dream when you were watching it just because it was just so off the walls.
Like
it
one of the
felt
ones with the two-headed hump monster, or like the monster with two humps on its head.
Yeah. Yes. It's just certain moments were just so surreal that it just kind of triggered me because it made me think back to all like the Ichabod Crane and those kind of weird Disney movies too.
Yeah. So I loved it.
Yeah.
It was atrocious and it shouldn't have been made, and that's all that really needs. That's all I really need for me,
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is like how many versions of the story are out there, and like how many are Japanese. Like, what was this like literally just like, oh, was for Japanese audiences, this was for a Japanese sensibility, and it just happened to be that studio execs in the U.S. were like, oh, let's grab that and bring that over. It'll be easy for us to translate and make a few bucks off of it.
I have to bet that this was like, there's going to be crossover appeal. We should plan it for an international audience. Because it's just, there's so much in here that's just like not specific.
It's a little too Disney.
Yeah, I think it was actually engineered to be like so Disney. Like they were trying to reverse engineer like how Disney would make this particular story.
I think so.
So that then they could like have the copyright first.
Okay, interesting.
Because it's Disney, you've got to put a princess in the castle and you've got to put a witch in the castle.
Yeah. You got to have animal companions. No, well, they wouldn't have had the copyright because this story is in the public domain. But yes, it feels very much like they were trying to ape the Disney format.
Yeah, but if you do a Snow White story with dwarves, then they'll sue you.
That makes sense.
Because Snow White's in the public domain, but the dwarves are the Disney touch.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
this would be like if you tried to do Jack and the Beanstalk with a princess and a dog, then
They would sue
whatever
you.
studio this was, not Studio Ghibli, but whatever the studio was, would sue you.
Anyway, I picked this because this movie is like my fourth memory.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
You were one of those
Nice,
reviewers. It's all
Oh,
clear to
shit.
me now.
Okay, hold on. Disney's Mickey and the Beanstalk,
Yeah.
which is what I saw when I was a kid, that came out in 1947.
Sure.
So it was
That-
well before this.
Yeah, but that wasn't a full movie, though. I don't think.
I told you
That's
the
probably
story
just
is in the
a-
public domain. Like, you
I
can't.
thought it
Just
was
like a short.
No. I know it was in the public domain. I just didn't know like who would have done it first. Like, I obviously would have done like many times with many different properties. Because I think there's like an Abbott and Costello, Jack and the Beanstalk. Also, there's like a bunch of different versions of this.
That's because it's
But
a
I
fairy
thought
tale.
the Disney one. I didn't know if the Disney one came before this one or vice versa. But no, yeah, it looks like the Disney one was sooner. Then it's 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Garbage compared to this. This is a work of sheer
Garbage,
fucking
that's right.
genius.
Yes.
This is the kind of thing that I wish that I could see. I envy David that this is his fourth memory.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the creepy voices echoing down the hall and the weird soup. The way the princess's eyes changed when the spell was broken.
Oh yeah, there's some really.
Yeah.
Those are good moments.
Yeah.
And I
Go ahead,
remember the
David.
main song, but I don't remember any. I did not remember it was a musical at all.
Nice.
That's because it's terrible. Like I wiped those from my brain.
Nice.
But they do. There are some of the most batshit decisions that the animators make are in those scenes.
Yeah.
Like the scene where they're all where all of the mice and the dog are like chanting at Jack, going choo 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 choo, like they're little miniature trains.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were trying to be like choose to save the princess, like that.
I think they just had like a whistle sound effect in the song, and the animators were like,
Yeah.
"Well, we could just make them like we can make them look like they're making that noise." Done.
Yeah. And like in all of the music, all of the songs that shit, I've already forgotten her name, Maleficent, whatever the
Hecuba.
Hecuba.
Hecuba. All of the songs that Hecuba sings right in there, like where she's just like shitting all over her son. Like that's a bad shit song, and the other song of her, where she interjects with the music for the wedding,
Yeah.
where it's just people like chanting over and over again, say you do, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Trying to get the princess to say her vows, and then like her coming in and being like,
Are you happy?
"You have to do it.
Are you
Let's
happy?
do it. Yeah. Are you happy? Yeah. No, this is like honestly, if I could get like the soundtrack to this
Oh, you can.
and play it in my stores to force my
Oh.
employees to have to listen to this, I'd love it.
That's a misery. I'm glad I don't work with you.
Well, normally you just play the podcast, right?
Yeah. Just play the podcast to boost our numbers. That's right. But no, yeah, this is crazy. Matt and Mike, would you have your dearest children watch this?
She wouldn't because it's too scary for her right now, and she's very concerned with things being scary. But yeah, I probably would let her watch it. It's just crazy. It does not treat women well at all, but it's super weird. So I appreciate that more.
Well, I guess the question would be, does this treat women better than the Disney version? Like, thinking about, like, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White. Does this treat them better or worse?
Well, they're also really hard on the mother character. She's the true villain, and she's
Hecuba?
pretty terrible, yeah. Even to the point where, like, you and I were like, oh, yeah, we identify with Tulip, right? They
that's
didn't
true,
do anything to make her character
To make her
likable.
redeeming.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't, like, throw in the backstory of her being abused as a kid.
Yeah, and
That's why
she's
she wants
also
to be in
like,
charge or something.
yeah, she's conniving, and she's gonna murder her, like destroy her own son, and like manipulative, and it's a very unpleasant portrait of a person.
Yeah. That's fair. What do you think, Mike? Would you have a little boy and little girl watch this?
Honestly, I just don't think this would hold their attention at all. They would probably comment on the animation being old-timey, as they would say. And it just doesn't have any of the things that they like, basically. So, I don't think I would say you can't watch it.
But you just don't think they would.
But you're saying
I don't think they
you'd have
would.
to force them to watch it, and that's what you're gonna do.
No, I'm not going to force
You're
them
gonna
to
tape
watch
their eyelids open.
No, he's saving the Clockwork Orange machine for
Yeah.
animes. Other classic anime.
it. Exactly.
Like,
And all of the Star Wars movies in chronological order.
Oh, jeez.
all the Star Wars movies in chronological
Wait, which
order.
chronology?
The
Release dates or
Release date or
timeline?
in universe?
No, in
in universe
Star Wars.
timeline.
the
So
Battle of
starting with-
Yavin, like BY. So we're talking
Battle of
episode
Yavin.
1, like all of the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels.
You got Phantom Menace, Clone Wars. Return
Oh
of
my
the Sith,
god.
New Hope, Empire.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about just the
Return of the Jedi.
movies. I'm talking about all canon Disney episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, so you go back to like the old
Andor.
Republic to start with, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
The book of
and- and
Obi-Wan
then,
Kenobi, the book of Boba Fett, every shitty
exactly.
thing they ever made.
Mandalorian. Yes. And then they're going to have to go back and play
The Christmas special.
Knights of the Old
Whoa.
Republic.
I was going to
Well,
say
they
the
have to
Christmas
start.
special is
They
going
have
to
to
be like their
start with
interstitial.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Well, yeah, they actually technically should start with Knights of the Old Republic. But,
That's right.
Why don't don't
a
forget the
hard game to get
the
them
comic
into.
series, all the different comic series they have to read.
Yeah.
Actually, I could get them to read. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Why
But no,
not?
I just-
why not have them play the old D20 Star Wars RPG as part of their education? Like
I
make them
was-
have their own adventures before they even get to the first fucking movie.
I was going to actually buy that. I was looking it up, and the book is really overpriced on Amazon for some reason. So
Really?
I'm going to go look
Yeah, it's
around at
'cause
a
it-
comic book shop.
Yeah, they don't print it anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
it's
I
out
have
of,
those.
It's out of print, so that's what I was worried about. So I might have to go look around like old, comic book stores and gaming stores because it's outrageous online.
Is it
Interesting.
nutrageous?
Because I have those, so maybe I should go sell those online. To make a little bit of money.
Yeah. Apparently, you should send them to Mike.
Or you can send it to your Mike, yeah.
No,
Skip the middleman.
Get some usage out of it. So,
well, I mean, I did want to, I'm trying to get little boy into Star Wars. And then once I can get him into Star Wars, I could get him into RPGs. And then that way I could get him into more proper RPGs.
I think you might
So
be
this
going
is-
the wrong way. I don't think Star Wars
is-
leads
Yeah,
to
I think so.
RPGs.
Star Wars is a gateway RPG.
No way.
Drug.
No, I don't. I've never seen that. Star Wars is a gateway to like knowing a lot of idiotic things about most people have heard about.
Midichlorians.
yeah, Star Wars is a gateway to geekdom, basically.
Yeah, geekery.
Geekery.
Diving deep into a subject matter that will bear you no benefit whatsoever in your adult life.
Yeah, it's kind of like my knowledge of
Hey.
the 40K universe because I never intend to play the game or play any role playing games set in the 40K universe.
In that universe.
Yeah, just enjoy the stupid stories.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
David, what is our next segment?
Yes.
So we have some bonus redemptions.
An insurmountable pile of wonderful awfulness.
Oh, that's right. Well, why don't we go off of your first redemption?
I wasn't going to do redemptions for these chosen things.
Oh.
The Chosen.
Okay.
Oh, so you're gonna give? Are we gonna give? Do we need to each do a game to give away redemptions?
Wouldn't hurt.
Oh. Nice. Nice.
I couldn't find much in the way of background on the studio or anything. So
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's fine.
Let's see. I heard about something recently that I added to the wait list. And it is the Tales from the Crypt Keeper cartoon.
Oh
Where
no!
they made a cartoon of Tales of the Crypt.
Nice.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Do you?
Holy
I don't.
hell! I think I do. And it was the Crypt Keeper in real life was scared the crap out of me. But I could watch the cartoon, and it kind of desensitized me, so that I could not freak out about seeing the animatronic Crypt Keeper.
So you want to move that up to the proper list,
Me? I don't know.
Adam?
I have my own redemption.
Yeah.
Oh, me? No.
Okay.
I'm looking through. That's going to be my backup choice. Right now, I'm looking through some of these. Oh, I think I remember this. Do we have Conan the Barbarian up here?
Yes, we do.
Of course we do.
We do. Okay.
We've got Conan the Barbarian. We've got Conan the Destroyer. I think we've got Conan the
Young
Adventurer.
Warriors. Conan the Adventurer, yeah. Okay. So, it's something similar along those lines that I saw down here, which was Sinbad. Yeah, the Fantastic Voyages of Sinbad the Sailor.
What year is
I
this?
think I want to move. 1996. I actually do remember this cartoon.
Oh, wow.
I remember when it came out. So
I
think I want to bring that up to the top.
I feel like I do, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why, but there's like a special place in my heart for the old Sinbad, like really bad claymation, animation, fighting movies.
That
from,
was
like,
very good.
60s and 1970s.
The Harryhausen ones? Those are
yeah, I
genius.
think so.
Yeah.
Okay, in my mind they were like low quality just because of the clay animation, but of course at the same time that was like the era when that was like the primary special effect. So,
Yeah, that was cutting edge for the time.
But the reason why I like it so much is because I was a gross little boy when I was watching those, and inevitably in every single one of those movies they have like a very attractive woman who like Sinbad has to save. So yeah. This is like my like preteen years back when I would actually watch these movies at like my grandparents' house, basically. So.
Yeah.
Adam, I love that we
hiding
get
your
to-
tiny little chub.
Exactly.
I love that we get to hear the side of you.
The dirty, dirty side. There's the Adam I
Gross,
love.
prepubescent size.
Delightful.
So that's my vote, David.
Okay.
What do you got, Mike? Pick Galaxy Express 999, Mike.
I was looking at that. I'm like, what
Galaxy
is that?
Express
That looks.
999.
Is it a sci-fi thing?
Yeah, it's
but
the space train.
1977.
That's the space train one.
It's a space train one. It's Japanese anime from 1970s.
Super.
You know what?
It's super horny. I remember it being super horny.
And it's very weird because it's about how in the future people are giving up their bodies for robot bodies, and then the rest of it's just them traveling on the train from place to place, and this 10-year-old boy murdering people along the way, basically. So
Fucking hell.
Awesome. I'm in.
but it is 1970s anime, so it is that like style of anime.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's
the only
very
thing
that
that
style.
gave me
There's
pause.
a lot of
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of hair. There's a lot of
Yeah,
hair that flops over your eye. That's how cool it
Yep.
is. So floppy.
So, but yeah, Galaxy Express, it caught my eye, and I'm like, it looks like it could be cool. So let me throw
I have
it
a
in
seat.
just
Okay,
because.
you know what? I will
Nice.
bet. I'm willing to bet you.
Nice.
I'm willing to bet you will like this. I will bet you
You probably will.
100 kisses.
What the hell? I decline.
On your star, you gotta kiss the star.
No.
The thing about Galaxy Express 999 is it's been remade like 3 or 4 times, and they made a bunch of movies on it as well.
Didn't they do one that was all CGI or something?
They may have. I don't know. I just know that they've done a bunch of reboots of it. So, all right, what are we on to next, David?
Reverse retcon.
Well, we have a.
Oh shit, we got a lot of stuff lined up already. So yeah, we don't need a reverse retcon for a while, do we?
Well, when
No,
we do
we will
these special episodes, we have another special episode lined up.
That's right. So on a future episode of Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching my choice of a movie, The Christmas Toy, 1986 Jim Henson made-for-TV movie that will scar you as a child. But next time on Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching Black Star, Episode 5, The Quest.
I'm excited. This is early in the run.
Yes. This is when everybody's like fresh, like, hey, we got some good ideas. This might even be like midway through like a story arc.
They certainly
This
won't
would be
resort to.
interesting.
Yeah, they certainly won't resort to using these terrible little inane meeble creatures for a good portion of the episode.
Exactly, which is exactly what they did for this. So,
I know.
this,
Very angry.
this is going to be like the Ewok episode.
Oh,
yes.
God damn it. All right. Well, for the terrible, I have been Matt.
My name is Adam. I have also been here for Amazingly Terrible.
For the amazing, I've been David.
I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Bye, Mike. Bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike.
Amazingly Terrible is produced by David and Adam. Music by Josh Woodward. Send your email to monotonouslyterrific@amazinglyterrible.com.
Don't give up your day rap job.
Okay. So
How do you know I rap during my day?
I know.
Every time I walk into my store, I'm the manager. I'm here to say I want to manage in a managing way.
Oh God.
Beautiful.
That pains me.